We are going to start the process of doing our initial layout for our library right now. So I have two sheets of paper here. I have the first floor framing plan, first floor plan, and then I have the second floor plan. All right. So for the first floor, if you look at the requirements in the document that I gave to you, these are all the requirements that our first floor must have. Entry vestibule, main circulation desk, children help desk, exterior curtain walls, public area, public restrooms, library and office, so on and so forth, down to mechanical space and additional space for community engagement. All right, and the second floor also has some stuff here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sketch this out. So a few things that I've already designed, I know, with you is I know I have, first of all, I'm getting rid of the existing doorways. I'm going to put in my own doorways. I'm going to get rid of those. I put in an entry vestibule. I can't remember exactly where it is, but I'm going to kind of just sketch it out, maybe here-ish. So that's my entry. The reason being is this is the south side of the building. Most of the sun, especially in the winter and when it's colder, is on the south side. So this is why my entryway is down here. I'm going to have a lot of glass along the east, south, and west sides. The north side, not as much. Another thing I've done so far, I made most of this way, or this area here, my stair and elevator. Okay. After that, if I look here, I'll split the screen so we can kind of see two things at once. So let's say here, 15% of the overall square footage needs to be dedicated to the maintenance room, mechanical room. So if we look here, the overall square footage is 120 by 72. All right, so 120 times 72 is 8,640. Remember, there's two floors, so times 2. We get 17,280 square feet. 15% of that is about 2,500, or 20. Let's say roughly 2,600 square feet. All right. If I divide that by 30, because that's like kind of the length two of these, needs to be about 86 square feet long, or 86. So if it's one of these wide, it needs to be 80 feet long. This is pretty excessive, but if I look up here, one of my requirements here, I just multiply by 2, so with a green roof. I'm not going to do that. I'm only going to multiply by 1.5 because I'm only going to take into consideration the second floor that's enclosed. So if I go back to the 8,640 times 1.5 this time, so 8,640 times 1.5, that's 12,960. Multiply that by 15%. I get roughly 1,900 square feet. So with 1,900, divide that by 30, and I roughly get about 64 feet. So this is still pretty large mechanical room, maintenance room. I'm double check my numbers here. I did say 15%. So, and you do need a pretty large mechanical room. Let's do 1,900 divided by 24. Let's see how that works out. So that's 79. So I'm going to maybe cheat a little bit. I'm going to dedicate these 2 bays here to mechanical. And that way, in the back here, I can have like a garage door. And some just walking doors. I'll put that over here because I'll have the parking lot around here. So entry door. And that way it's also next to my stairwell. So that's all. Let me go back here. So I'll roughly keep this upper corner here all for essentially mechanical and like stuff like that. And from here, I'm going to start putting in my other spaces. So if I go back here, let's see some things. Entry, so the main circulation desk, I'm going to put that most likely right around here, this area. So this would be like my circulation desk. Off to the left here of the entryway, that's kind of where I think would be a good public restroom. So I'm not really sure how big to size that just yet, but I'm going to roughly do something like this. And we're going to call that restrooms. Let's see, so flow of traffic, people come in here, circulation desk out here, kind of an open space. This would be maybe the shell books / tables. All right. Children's help desk. Not sure if I want that kind of other side of the restroom or maybe kind of back here is what I'm thinking. So we'll put children's area back here. Again, this is all just like rough sketching out. Let's see. So the open area maybe could be in front here. So let's kind of dedicate this to open area. And then the west side, the left side here is where I'm going to have a lot of my meeting rooms and so let's see things I haven't done yet. I've done that. Open area, public restroom, I've done that. So librarian's office, staff workroom, kitchenette. I kind of want that all to be, this all be kind of in the same place. We need some meeting rooms, history room. So that's kind of all I need left, and I've got a decent amount of space here. So I'm thinking we'll put the kind of the office space here. So I'll dedicate maybe this whole bay here to staff area and like head librarian area. Okay. And then let's see, maybe this bay here would be the history room. And then let's see, what else do I need? So I've got so meeting rooms and additional space for community engagement. So yeah, maybe meeting rooms. And maybe I can somehow incorporate in this open area, along with this open area, possibly flex type space. So maybe like a place where there could be like displays set up, similar like the history room, but maybe like a maker space or something to draw the community in. All right, so that would be my first floor, and then going up to the second floor. So if you're looking at the second floor right away, you can just grab another marker here, kind of chop this off here. This is green roof. To connect this part down to the bottom, this is your stairwell, an elevator. All right. And so once you walk out here, it's useful and economical to have the plumbing from the first floor and second floor kind of be in the same place. So it might be good to have this as like a restroom area. Keep most of this area here. As soon as you walk out of the stairwell, like open, and then like stacks of books and tables. Let's let's see, what else do we need on the second floor? So open area, exit. Don't forget you're going to need entrances or ways to get to the green roof. So you're going to need doors, maybe one there and there. Green roof access, that's what that is. Public restroom. And then these two areas here, relatively secluded. Maybe you could have additional. There's extra flexibility here. You have study area maybe / like private meeting rooms, so more meeting spaces or study areas, like a multimedia place, or again places that are flexible to try to draw more of the community in. All right, so that's kind of how I would start the process of sketching out what my area is going to be, and then another thing you can do is maybe start thinking about like how you want your walking path to be. So if your doors are here, your walking path could meander. I'm not sure if I did that right. Yeah, and so that could be like a walking path, benches, trees, and bushes. But you kind of want to just think through what you're going to want, like a bench here at the end of like a little area, and then just trees, bushes, things to kind of draw people into the area, into the space. All right, so it's a good start. After this, we're going to switch over to Revit, start sketching out with interior walls, and see how it goes from there. Here's the sketch we just did for the first floor. Here's the sketch for the second floor. Now we're going to start the process of putting this into Revit. So I'm going to push this kind of off to the side of my screen, maybe zoom in a little bit. All right, so zoom in here and go to Revit. So far with Revit, I put in my entry vestibule, I put in my upper roof, my green roof, my second floor, and then if I kind of cut back in here and zoom around or pan around, I've started putting in my elevator, my stairs, and you'll see that I've even put in some stuff for my my layout. So if I go to my, let's see, the ground floor plan. So you see I've got some stuff already sketched out here. So looks like I was doing some stuff earlier. I put my restrooms over here. It's different than what I just did. So it's really up to you. There are many different types of layouts that are possible. So here's one layout. Here's a different layout. Just trying to show you that there's different layouts that are possible. So I've kind of essentially gone through two separate layouts with you. I'm going to go further with this one here. So I'm going to clear out the existing one that I've done here. So I'm going to delete a bunch of this stuff. The mechanical room, I think, actually lines up in the same place. Yep, mechanical room is in the same place. So I'm going to leave that. But a lot of this text is going to change. That stays. Oh, that's actually the same thing. That's different. And then that gets moved up to here. All right, so one thing I need to do, I need to continue the process of wrapping my columns. So here, remember, that's my plumbing wall. The reason there's no drywall on one side, but I don't need drywall on the other side for my for wrapping my columns. So if I go back and double check this, currently they're unconnected 10-foot high. So something I may not have done initially is I didn't check the elevation of my second floor. So what I mean by that is if you cut a section through here, so if I go to, no, I don't need to do that. I can just go right here. This button appears as a section, cut a section through here, and then go down to my sections right here. Check it out. You see my second floor is 19 feet 6 inches high. That's the bottom of my second floor. And here's the bottom of my what's called a beam. All right, so if I were to check this out and I kind of get an idea for this, I could put in a measurement from the top of the floor to the bottom of the beam. It's 18 foot 6 inches. So my wall should probably be more than 10 feet high. Otherwise, because my ceiling will only drop maybe, or you want to have enough room for all the ventilation, heating, cooling, HVAC work, any kind of duct, plumbing, anything like that. So you might want to drop the ceiling maybe 3 or 4 feet. That would give plenty of space to do any kind of stuff. But what I'm saying is, okay, 18 foot 6 inches minus 4 feet, that's about 14 feet. So my walls need to be at least 14 or 15 feet high. All right. So if I go back to my first floor plan or ground floor plan, I can remove this section. That was just a temporary thing. But all of these walls, oops, this wall here, right now it says unconnected 19 feet 6 inches. Well, actually, no, it is top constraint, second floor. That maybe for the mechanical room, that's good. I'm kind of like debating back and forth right now how I want to do this. But it's not what I want to do for all my walls. Mechanical room might be a little bit different, might be separate. So I'll leave that for the mechanical room, but all my other walls, I'm going to want them to be a bit taller. So for example, right here, I don't want them to be connected because the concept is if you have walls, you're going to have to cut through them to put all the HVAC if you go all the way up to the second floor. So you don't want to do that. You want to leave them low enough that all the guys, the contractors who are working in the HVAC don't have to cut through your walls, but they're high enough to like reach the ceiling and separate the spaces. So I'm going to unconnect them and make them, let's say, 14 feet. All right, hit apply. And so I'm going to do that with all of these walls. Make them unconnected, 14 feet tall. All right. Let's see if I need to go to anything else. These walls definitely go all the way up because that's the shaft. That's the fire safe shaft. Let's see. Whoops. A little too much there. So here, here, here. Those should be unconnected, 14 feet. Let's see, where else do I need to go? I think these are already unconnected. Yep. But instead of 10 feet, make 14 feet. All right, that should be it. So if I go back to the architecture tab, wall, basic wall, plumbing wall, that's good. So can just connect that to that. That should all connect. And I can just continue, whoops, wrapping the rest of my columns. So from here around. Oops, undo, 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 undo. I forgot. So I'm just jumping into it. I want it to be unconnected, 14 foot high. All right, that's the whole purpose of what I just did. Unconnected, 14 foot high. And I'm connecting it to the corners, the outside corners here of the beams. All right, wrap that column. Let's see. Wrap this column. All right, so for these outside walls, since they don't really connect here, best thing to do after you make it like the way I did, you can use a line command. So I want to line it to here. Same thing here. All right. All right, so I'm not going to go through every single column right now. You can work on that yourself. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put in wall dividers for the stuff that I wanted here. So I'm going to push this off to the side, make this a little bit smaller so I can still see it. So, yep, I have the same children's work area. I don't want it to be the full depth here. So, oops, got rid of too much. I need to be able to see all my stuff here, all my menus. All right, so I want to go to architecture, wall. This wall is just going to extend. Oh, I need to go back to a regular partition wall. Interior, 1 in 5 There we go. Drywall on both sides. I'm gonna bring that to about here. From here on over, this is gonna be my staff area. So combination of, let's see, my head librarian, their office. So if I think about this, I want the head librarian's office to be kind of facing towards the outside. So I'm going to sketch this out. Let's see, still that core face. I'm going to do core face center line, kind of center all this stuff. So I'm going to kind of wall off here all together. Oh yes, I'm going to need to wrap this column here. So I haven't done that. I'll do that later. I'm actually going to do it right now because I'm going to use that. So go back to my plumbing wall. Let's wrap this. So I need to do, so let's see, core face interior is where I'm lining this one up. Here. Here, and then use the align command, align that, and then align that. All right, so the point is, what I wanted to do is my head librarian's office, so architecture wall, go back to a regular partition wall, is going to be kind of in this area. And then this area here is going to be the staff workroom, kitchenette, and staff bathroom kind of behind it. But then the head librarian's going to have a separate entrance either on this side or this side. I haven't decided yet. All right. Let's see. So I need to do, oops, wrong one. Also wrong one. This one here. Okay. My meeting room is my history room. Okay. So I'm going to need to go back and wrap this column here because I'm going to use this column as a important point of reference here and here. Align that. Align that. All right. And my history room, Noblesville history room. Let's see. Switch back to normal wall. This will be a relatively large room. We'll see how it works. I'm gonna go. Let's see, wall center line. It's gonna go right down the middle here. Okay. And then for my meeting rooms, they're gonna big enough space here. Let's see, 4'6". So that'd be enough for a doorway there. So if that makes sense, what I just did, I made sure that this space is big enough to have a doorway to enter for the staff area. So these would be a couple meeting rooms, maybe two, at least two, maybe three. This would be a large enough space for a history room between this column here. I still need to wall off this area here. So I need to wrap that column. And then I need my bathrooms. So I'm going to totally wrap this column and then have like a men's or women's room up here, men's room here. That way they're an entrance. Right as you walk in, you'll have the bathrooms on your left-hand side. And then this will be my kind of, circulation area back here, open area for books, and a kind of a flex space here where everyone's going to be available. I think that would be a good one. All right, so I'm just going to wall off this area here. So I still need to go back, wrap my column here. Let's go ahead and do that. Again, wrapping your columns with that center line, I need to do core face interior. Wrapping your columns is not a requirement. I think it just looks better with having your spaces divided up. All right. Then I'm going to want to wrap this column down here. All right, and then I can align to this surface, that, again to this surface, that. All right. And wall off the bathroom area. So again, wall, go back to this wall. Want to go core face center. And then one more. Let's see, right here. And then, let's see, that's space 24, that's space 30. So if I want to have like kind of longer, narrower bathrooms, I could have them running this way. If I want to have shorter but wider bathrooms, I could run them this way. Yeah, I think I'd rather have shorter but wider. And so let's go to architecture. Here I definitely want my plumbing walls. So I can worry about spacing them later. If I zoom in, I have this one backwards at the moment. The way I can tell is I'm going to want my drywall. This will be, anyway, let me just kind of finish this out and then I'll explain what I'm doing here. All right. And so the way I can reverse it, just like next here. So now I have drywall on this side, drywall on this side with a gap in here. And if you go back to the report, let's see, where would the report be? Let's see, here we go. And we go to the section of the report that has to do with plumbing. Plumbing, water class. So let's go to plumbing code requirements. So this gives you the space here between the, at a minimum, if I have gypsum wallboard on metal stud, I need to have 11 inches between the back ends of the studs. So I can go back here and I know that this distance to this distance has to be 11 inches. I've got more than I need right now. But I could click on this and say that needs to be 11 inches, and I could bring that in. So that's the minimum spacing, and that's a very efficient wall design. And then I could just, drag. So if I wanted to lock this in, so click on this, lock that in. So that way, if I wanted to drag this over, both walls travel together, depending on how I want to allocate the space here for men's and women's bathroom. This way I have enough space in here for all the plumbing requirements behind the toilets. Also, this is really good for a plumber because they have to put in minimal amount of plumbing, right? If the toilets didn't back up to each other, then there's plumbing for one wall, plumbing for a separate wall. There's a lot of extra piping, a lot of extra work, a lot of extra expense. This is just about as efficient as it can get. All right, there will be a separate plumbing run because back here I'm going to have another bathroom for the staff, kitchenette and the staff bathroom. But they're at least somewhat close in the same section of the building. Where I have this right now, this won't be, since this is the green roof, I can't have my second floor bathroom directly on top of it. So it's not going to be the most efficient possible, but they'll be in the same general vicinity. So I think I'm going to have, if I go to my second floor, have my bathroom right around here. Pretty close. I could, if I really wanted to, move this whole thing right here over here and kind of dedicate this whole area here to being a bathroom area. Not really a bad idea. And that way I could actually put my second floor bathroom directly on top of my first floor bathroom. So I'm going to keep in mind, just, for good design and affordable design, it's definitely something that a lot of people will do. All right, so now I'm going to go to my second floor and sketch that out. All right, you can see this is what I had before. Had a coffee bar, restrooms. So to kind of keep up with my new design, or my second design, so if I go to my second floor here, remember my green roof is still the same place, but I had my restrooms being here this time, and then this being open for tables, this being a study area. I can keep that as a study area or change it to a coffee bar. So again, I'm going to wrap these columns real quick. So put in a wall, plumbing wall, wrap these columns. Whoops, not down the center line. Let's see, core face, interior. I think I missed the, yep, I missed it. All right, let's try that again. All right, so, oops, another thing I need to check is how high these walls should be. So these probably will not be the same 14-foot high walls. Let's put in a section real quick. Let's go check that section out. So let's see. The bottom of my framing is right there. Let's turn it to that. From the top of my floor to the bottom of my framing, currently I have about 13 feet 2 inches. So my 14 foot would go too high. So again, drop about 3 or 4 feet. That would leave about 9 foot ceilings in the second floor. So let's do that. Let's make 9 foot ceilings. All right. So go to second floor. Delete this now. Okay. And so wall, plumbing walls, if I wrap a column here, I'm going to wrap this column in the middle just so I can kind of show you something. All right, wrapping this column, almost done. Oops, and I didn't, of course, change it like I said I was going to. I went through the whole process and forgot to change it. So these should all have been 9 foot walls. All right, hit apply. And then I'm going to go to 3D view real quick to show something. All right, so go to this wall. You see how part of my wall is under the floor. I think I went over this earlier, but the idea is that this level right here is my second floor. My, for the way Revit set it up, this is the elevation that's my floor. And remember, I put a 4 or 8 inch. Let's take a look. I put an 8 inch. I did the hollow core concrete. I did an 8 inch floor on top of that. So I need to vertically offset all my walls 8 inches. The base offset needs to be 8 inches. All right. So if I go back to second floor, all of these, the base offset needs to be 8 inches. All right, hit apply. So it's important to think before you just start putting in walls. Otherwise, you have to go back a lot. So wall, this time I'll think through it. Base offset, 8 inches. Height is 9 feet. And there we go. So that'll give me, like I said, about 3 or 4 feet worth of area or height to put my HVAC in above my second floor. All right. So you can wrap these. Again, if you choose to wrap these, it's certainly not a requirement. Not for this kind of building. Okay. And so let's see, wrap one more over here. Can leave that one in the corner open. And then I'll wall this off. So let's still, and once I set it once, all my future walls will maintain the 8-inch offset, 9-foot connected height. I switch back to core face our wall center line. Okay, so go from here to here, and then here to here, and then go back, switch back to my plumbing wall. I'll do the same thing as before. Hit spacebar to reverse that wall initially, right there. Spacebar again to put it that way. And then I can put in my spacing, make it 11 inches. This time it is wrong. Oops. Select this wall. So it needs to be 11 inches. And then I can click on the dimension and lock it. All right. All right. So that's the way to put in just your dividing walls and spaces. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to put in, kind of change these to curtain walls, show what that looks like. So some of our walls, not all of them, are going to be curtain walls with a lot of glass so that you can see through them because we want open, airy kind of stuff. Obviously can't do that for the mechanical room, definitely not for the bathrooms, but you can have a lot of other exterior walls. So like this is the history museum, or the Noblesville History Room, your meeting rooms, parts of your staff room, your children's area. You might not even need wall for your children's area. You might not even want that walled off, or maybe you only want it partially walled off. And then like your circulation desk area doesn't need it. But some stuff does not need to be walled off. Others do need to be walled off. Others can have big glass walls. Kind of depends on how you want it to all look, and that's what we're going to work on next. All right, but this is the basis of how to put in your layout. Oh, by the way, it's always useful just to put in your name, name your spaces, history room, restrooms, circulation desk, entry area, stacks, community / open space. Go to the second floor, restrooms, open area, and stacks. Maybe this will be my study area. And then that's still my green roof. All right. So good start at this point, and we'll start cleaning up the details next.